and welcome back to Syberia, where we will continue with our adventure. And our adventure is, we are an associate for a lawyer firm. We are overseeing a purchase of a family manufacturing. But in the last moment, we find out that the owner was not a sole owner, there was an heir, and we need to find the heir. Now, supposedly we will go find him on this train that you can see over here, but we need to complete a certain requirements before the train can depart. We need to find several items that are of immense value, and yeah, we're trying to find them all. Gotta collect them all. You know the drill. Now, I told you that in the previous episode that my last thread that I have that is unresolved is the village boy Momo asked me for a mammoth picture, and apparently you can see mammoth after you talk with Momo, and if you go back to the corner from where he scared you. So let me explain. When we went to this attic and we went to the corner over here first, and we turned on the light here, we got chased out of here because Momo appeared. Now if we return to this corner after we talked with Momo, we can get this drawing. Perfect. Here you go, pal.
Thank you. Momo happy. Now follow Momo. Momo show his secret to Kate.
Well, I guess we follow the guy. Somehow, slightly janky animations remind me of the very first Witcher. $19.99, and they nailed the ray tracing, right? Look, a true reflection right over there. Where the hell is Momo?
There you are, Momo. This is some walk you've taken me on. I've got to say, though, it sure is mighty pretty. Momo come here often. Momo like make splash in water. Why have you brought me here? Mammoth doll in cave. Very important for hands, Anna say. Cave? What cave? Where? Momo not liar. So you reckon the cave that Hans and Anna found is round here? You wouldn't know where it is exactly, would you? Cave disappear. Anna say nobody find it. Disappear. Like magic. Caves don't go disappearing like that. It must be hidden by something. That's all. Momo like playing hide and seek. I think that's just as well. Momo, I've got to go now. But see you later, maybe.
Hidden cave, you say?
I can't go that way.
Why not? But you don't have waterproof shoes?
It must be broken. I've got to get a helping hand here.
Well, we do have some helper available.
Momo, I've got something else I want to ask you. Momo listening.
It's interesting that I is not in capital.
Can you help me, please? What do? Help me open the dam. Momo's strong. Oops.
That did not go as planned.
That looks broken.
Yeah.
Momo. Momo? Because of you, Momo, I look more like an explorer than a lawyer now. If Dan could see me, I don't think he'd like what he saw. Momo don't know Dan. Why have you brought me here? Mammoth doll in cave. Very important for hands, Anna say. Cave? Momo. Can you help me, please? What do? Help me open the dam. Dam broken.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem.
Tell me, Momo. Do you really think that after all these years, Anna's brother is still alive? Anna always say hands go away, but hands come back maybe. Tell me, Momo. I met someone real interesting in the factory. A kind of robot called Oscar. Now, he told me about a train. Anna didn't tell you where it was going, did she?
Train! Train! Choo-choo! Choo-choo! Woo!
Momo. Momo.
Too far?
I could use one of the oars from this boat as a lever. But how am I ever going to get a hold of it?
Well, we don't have much options here, do we? We don't have many options. Sorry.
Ugh, that oar is all dirty and wet.
Well, you gotta do your work, don't you? Yeah. Come on, you have the whole river around to like wash your hands and stuff. Hmm.
Momo.
Momo.
I've moved the oar nearer. Be a good boy and carry it for me?
Momo say yes.
Why, thank you.
Momo, I've got...
Momo.
Can you help me?
What do
I need a hand.
Momo say?
Why do you put it so far though?
Momo very strong.
Thank you, Momo.
Now we should be able to reach the cave, right? But I don't have any lantern with me. Is that gonna be a problem? And now we return it, we'll place it in the train, right?
Hello?
Kate? Is that you?
Well, yeah, who did you think it was?
I didn't recognize your voice, that's all. Must be the distance or something. So, spill the beans. What's Europe like? You lucky lady, you. Honestly, I never get that kind of break.
Well,
Ha!
so far all I've seen of Europe is this tiny village.
It's not a break.
And frankly, they're not very hospitable. The whole case is getting really complicated. There's this surprise heir I've got to find.
No. I talked to Lynn, who bumped into Joss, and she had coffee with the head honcho this morning. He didn't sound at all happy. The client's meeting him tomorrow, and when Marston tells him that the sale's not even gone through yet, whoa, you're gonna be pleased you're on the other side of the ocean when that bomb goes off.
Yeah, I get the picture. But so, how about yourself? What's up at work?
We lost the Farah Lou trial. I worked 5 months on that dumb case.
I remember.
So, for a bit of therapy, I went to Boomy's. The sale started yesterday.
Wow, lucky.
It was absolutely crazy, Katie. Absolute mayhem. You know that blue silk top I wanted? Guess how much I got it for?
15.
I don't know. 250? 200?
$140. Just get yourself back here and I'll go down with you.
Like it's my choice. Look, I
Yeah,
gotta
probably
go.
silk is a little bit
Call
more
me soon,
expensive.
huh? I want a blow-by-blow account of every moment of your great adventure.
Get out of here. Look after yourself.
You too.
Yeah, I will.
She sounds like a nice friend. Yeah, we pretty much removed all the water, didn't we? But here the level did not change. Okay. That's good, I guess. Now, let's place it back, shall we? I know just the place for this mammoth. Now, before that, we make a save. So, 3 items. I brought this thing, mammoth, and another cylinder. Does that count now?
Right, everything is in order then. The train is finally ready to leave.
I am most terribly embarrassed. Such ignorance on my part is inadmissible. I hope you still have confidence in my abilities, Kate Walker. Please return to your seat and we can leave.
Finally.
Nice. Okay. Where are we?
Where are we, Oscar?
At the halls of residence of Barrockstadt University.
And do we really have to stop here?
The situation is incompatible with the pursuit of our journey.
What are you waiting for, then? Wind them up. Find a way. There must be some sort of train winding thing just laying around in this weirdo station.
I have seen nothing that fits that description, Kate Walker.
I guess we'd better find out, then.
I do not like this station. The atmospheric humidity is detrimental to my sophisticated wheel workings. I will wait for you inside the train.
Wimp. Oscar, we have a serious problem. How can we carry on our journey if this train doesn't want to budge? What are our options?
Every clock has its key, Kate Walker. Keep looking.
Well, I hope you're right. I'm gonna go see what I can find. Oscar, there's no way you could help me find a way to wind the train back up again?
Rust awaits my every movement if I leave this train, Kate Walker. And what would you do with a rusty engine driver?
Not a lot, I suppose. Oscar, I think that Hans Vorarlberg once stayed in this town after he left Valadilene. Maybe this wasn't a chance stopover after all.
Nothing is left to chance in a railroad network.
You agree with me, then?
We have no concrete proof to support your hypothesis. The train stopped because the clockwork mechanism is unwound. That is the only concrete evidence we have, Kate Walker.
I was just hoping for a little imagination on your part, Oscar.
No, Kate Walker. I am only an automaton, Kate Walker.
This train might be a wonder of technology, but the engine's limited autonomy is a liability. You got to admit that.
I am afraid I refuse to entertain this consideration, Kate Walker.
Oscar, see you later, alligator.
In a while, Kate Walker.
Crocodile. You botched it. It was supposed to be a crocodile. You heartless bastard. Left or right? I'm not sure I can see any kind of mechanism so far, so maybe I need to check the other side. Yeah, look at this station, like I don't see anything on this side. Let's go check the other one. Some birdies. There is no way I can go any further? Okay, a very aggressive birdies. Are you trying to tell me that the winding mechanism might be behind the, like, after the station? That looks collapsed.
That thing looks like the winding machine I used in the Valadilene station. I've got to find a way of getting the train up here.
Yeah, but it's on the other side. How do you pull the train up here? I have questions. So many of them, in fact. Again, we can try to consult Oscar. Because, like, since we are passing this place, we can just go and try to talk to him, right?
Kate Walker! Kate Walker! Come over here, please! I have something to say to you!
Well, that's a development.
Yes, Oscar, what is it?
A message has arrived for you.
Oh.
A message?
You have been summoned to see the rectors. They are the highest authority at the university. They want to talk to you.
Talk to me?
Yes, to the person responsible for the train.
So, I'm in charge now, sure, okay. But why would these gentlemen want to see me at all?
They do not say why, just that it's very important.
Everything okay, Oscar?
Yes, Kate Walker. I am awaiting your instructions.
There's a winding machine further on down there, but we're going to have to shift the train 50 yards.
Impossible, Kate Walker. Train Engineer's Instruction Manual, Chapter 3, Article 2. Once the springs are slack, the train cannot move.
The train cannot move by itself, Oscar. Only by itself. Oscar, there's no way you could help me
Rust awaits my...
This train might be a...
I...
You should take a look around the station, Oscar. It's amazing. Greenhouses that are all lit up, exotic trees, and thousands of birds of all different colors.
I am obliged to avoid exposing my wheelwork to corrosive bird excreta. I shall remain inside to monitor the locomotive.
Of course. Well, too bad for you. Oscar?
In a while.
It brings me so much pain that he botches the phrase every time. In a wild crocodile, it's not... Oof. Anything that maybe can push the train? Hi there.
Hello.
You ride my train, I see.
Yes,
Very
I've come from
observant.
Valadilene.
It's been a long time since I've seen a train here. Students, did you bring students with you?
No, I traveled alone. Well, almost alone.
I remember around the start of fall, trains would bring kids from all around the world here to study zoology and botany, paleontology, and all that stuff. This was a great university.
And it isn't still great today, then?
Today, well,
Have you been the station master of Barrockstadt for a long time?
I've never had another job. Now, you tell me, are you in charge of this train?
No, I mean, I'm not sure.
So what's your thing here? You come here to do some bookworming over at the university?
Well, sort of. I'm always looking for new information.
Well, you don't seem to know a lot. And about that train, it's gonna get in the way if you leave it there, that's for sure.
In fact, I'm a lawyer and I'm conducting a pretty unusual investigation.
Investigation, huh? Hey, I'm just a station master. I don't know too much about anything.
Well, you never know. Anybody could be significant in this case.
See, nobody actually tells me anything, so my hands are totally clean.
I never implied they weren't.
He's sus.
You don't know where I might find equipment to wind up my train springs, do you?
Not in this station, that's for sure. And I would know. You might want to try near the wall. So, thinking of staying for long, miss?
No. I mean, I don't know, actually. 1 or 2 days tops. You see, I've got to wind my train back up so that I can continue my journey.
It's just, if you stay here too long, I might get in trouble. The train should stop, then leave again. That's the rule. Besides, your machine's disturbing the birds.
Maybe you could take me up to this wall? If there were 2 of us, we could find what I need to wind up my train even quicker.
Miss, forgive me, I gotta stick to the rules. You know, I have to man the station. I don't want to get into trouble with my superiors at the university. You understand?
I feel like I've lost my way a little here. I could really do with your help.
Hey, anything I can do, miss, you just let me know.
Push the train.
The name Hans Vorarlberg doesn't mean anything to you by chance, does it?
Oh, do you really think I'd remember one little name from the thousands that pass through this station?
Yes.
I'm sorry to junk up your station like this, but the spring mechanism on my train needs winding.
A spring-operated locomotive. There's a thing.
Yeah, and an impractical thing, too.
Yeah, I always dreamed of taking the train, but now I'm over the hill. And someone has to take care of the birds, after all.
All these birds in a station. It's amazing.
This is no ordinary station, miss. Oh, no. These birds are part of the prestigious University of Barrockstadt Ornithological Collection. Over the years, this aviary has housed some of the most fantastic species from all over the world. And I am not exactly your typical station master either. This little world is my responsibility, and that is no easy task.
I can well believe you.
And you know what's the hardest? The hardest thing is to keep interspecial harmony. And one day some explorer introduced a couple of cuckoos from the Amazone. Whoa!
It wasn't a good idea?
A nightmare! You know, cuckoos lay their eggs in the nests of other species, right? Now, what's more, they also push the host's eggs out of the nest so that they receive all the mother's attention, right? Accursed cuckoos. Nightmare.
I see what you mean. That's one tricky bird. And there was nothing you could do to stop it?
The faculty declared the bird a protected species. If it wasn't for our mechanical eagle, we were sitting on a major ornithological catastrophe.
You have an automaton here?
A wonder of technology. It's an eagle that's mounted on rails in the air. It passes through and it swoops down to collect parasite eggs. But heck, the dang eagle's been out of order for several years. Impossible to collect the eggs myself.
Why not?
I can't climb up the gangway. I fell off it several months back and I still have a pain in my spine. Not to mention the vertigo I've been getting. I only have to look up in the air. Whoa.
You poor soul. That must be very hard.
Worst thing is, cuckoo eggs piling up in the nests. Soon the rectors are gonna notice. There's trouble in store, big trouble. I'm worried. Yep, worried.
I won't disturb you any longer, Mr. Station Master.
Welcome to Barrockstadt, miss.
Well, that is a hook. And that is all I can visit on this side, right? So, educated guess would say that over here I can cross to another side and either go to the gangway or to this closed door over there. Yep. Again, no way I can cross. No way I can go like along the rails on this side. So there is that. Barrockstadt. It's quieter here. Oh.
Hey there! On the boat!
Guten Tag, schöne Mademoiselle.
My husband say, hello, young lady. You want to talk to us?
Ah, the accent.
My name is Kate Walker, and I'm a lawyer. I'm in charge of this train. This situation is really very new to me.
Lawyer, good job. Earn lot of money.
A lot? A lot? No, I wouldn't go that far. But I can't really complain, I guess. There's worse.
Lawyer always ask a lot of money.
Can we change the subject, please? I really don't want to go down this road. Are you from Barrockstadt?
Yet,
So you're like me. Birds just passing through. I'm stuck here because of my train.
Kleine Puskereisen mit uns, no?
What did he say?
train kaput. No luck for you.
No, I'm not riding with you.
I have a little problem with my train. It's kind of broken. I've absolutely got to get it out of the station. Do you think you could tow it over to the wall with your barge?
Lock closed. Barge blocked.
But if the locks were open, would it be okay to tow my train then?
Porke no? More money for that sverk.
Da, is possible. My husband say we help you if you give money.
Right. And how much do you want?
Cinquante.
He want $150.
$150? I don't have that much.
No money, no barge.
Let me offer you 75.
Nay, $125.
Out of the question. $100 and not a dime more.
Correct. You have barge for $100.
Great. Now, don't move. I'll be back as quick as possible with the money. You must really get to see the countryside. Do you know New York at all?
We not understand.
I'm looking for a funny little man who is supposed to live in Syberia. Can you imagine that? Siberia. I expect you've already been there.
Why? Why do you imagine that?
Siberia? No. Too cold. Barge no break ice.
I hope my train isn't too big for your barge.
Tis okay. Motorboat erste Klasse.
My husband say correct. Powerful motor.
I mean, we're not exactly very far from the winding machine, are we? It's dumb, isn't it, all this effort to go a few yards?
Put train in barge? Nay, not possible.
Have you gone down to take a look around the station yet? It's amazing. You know, it's full of exotic birds.
Me to my gear? Ja. Ja, met plezier.
We no leave boat. Husband is land sick.
It's not very polite of you to take advantage of my predicament. We could have done favors for each other, for free, out of solidarity.
Father, Allah speak not full. Money, ja, break full.
Excuse me?
My husband say need money for leave. $100 not lot for fancy lady like you.
How would you know a fancy lady like me, really? I'll leave you to it. I won't disturb you again.
До свидания.
This is an interesting couple because they speak some Germanic language, but also, was it Russian? And yeah, I need somebody needs a lawyer around here. I apparently in need of money. Also need to deal with the lock, right? Ah. Contact the following number. Okay. 2766 6742. 2766 6742. 2766 6742.
Welcome to the East Block Control Center. To start, press the number sign. If you are using the Haltenberg lock, press 1. If you are using the Morloff lock, press 2. If you are using the Koningpass lock, press 3. If you are using the Barrockstadt lock, press 4. To return to the last command, press the number sign. If you want to raise the water level, press 1. If you want to lower the water level, press 2. To return to the last command, press the number sign. You want to lower the water level in the Barrockstadt lock? To confirm your choice, press star. To return to the previous command, press the number sign. Your request has been logged. Unfortunately, our regional technician is currently on holiday, and no replacement is available. We will reply to your request within 48
God
hours.
damn it.
In case of an emergency, please operate the lock system manually. We apologize for delays to our service.
That looks broken.
And I don't
need
have a key. Yeah. Gonna go further this way, so I guess we are heading to the university. Right?
This thing's jammed.
I think the proper term is locked. Oh, hello there.
Hello.
Hey, baby, you party? You sure looking mighty fine. Love those big round eyes.
Just who do you
Ew.
think you are?
Hey, spunky. I like that in a lady. Okay, I'm hooked. Come on, Zol. I'll let you buy me that coffee.
I don't remember ever asking.
Hey, don't play hard to get. I know you like it big time.
Listen, kid. Go back home and play with your toy cars and forget you ever saw me.
This guy is awful. He's disgusting. Let us assume that rectors sit in the biggest possible and the fanciest possible room I can imagine. This is a very nice lectorium, I would say.
No point. It's locked.
Okay, it is not the biggest room. I mean, perhaps it makes sense. If I go back to my university, probably one of the biggest rooms were like lecture halls or event halls and that kind of stuff. And the teacher chambers and like the where people actually sit and do the stuff. It's somewhere else, you know? Wowza. Naturen facit sautus. Before we do that, the Illustrated Dictionary of Plants and Mushrooms, the Friends of Barrockstadt University Natural Society, prefaced by Professor Cornelius Pons. The Yangova Kola. It is a mushroom without stem that has a chewy texture. It is a member of the Polypose family and grows exclusively on the trunks of certain trees of the Amerzonian jungle. While it is edible when young, the Yangava kola has a woody texture and insipid flavor and offers no great culinary appeal. Native Amerzonian tribes, however, are very attached to the mushroom. Why they are so fond of the fungus has taken extensive scientific research to elucidate. Biologists have reached the conclusion that the Yangova kola contains a special substance that is unique to the mushroom. The substance significantly affects vision and enhances its acuteness enormously. Amerzonian Indian hunters discovered this effect and started using it centuries ago. The Yangova kola is dried and ground to a powder and consumed before the hunt commences. Its effect is instantaneous and the penetration of the hunter's vision increases extraordinarily. The hunter is then able to aim and hit targets concealed behind thick undergrowth and even over greater distances. Cool. So we have literally magic shrooms. Instantaneous boost to your eyesight. Memories of an expedition. Ooh, that bird. The red Amerzone cuckoo. This subspecies of the common bird is endemic to the Amazon forests and is one of the region's most brightly colored species. The male's plumage is a bright vermilion, while the female's is a little more neutral. Habitat and food. The red cuckoo inhabits the more isolated and denser areas of the Amazon forest. It is reliant on the thick upper foliage of the rainforest to live its lonely existence. The explorer may nevertheless have an excellent view of the bird when the animal ventures to lower branches in search of forest Sauvignon grapes. The wild vines provide the bird with the majority of its food. The cuckoo is particularly partial to its juicy fruit. The red cuckoo may sometimes gorge itself on this fruit to the point of drunkenness, rendering it an easy prey for any jungle predator. Eat and be eaten, such is the implacable law of nature. Like other species of cuckoo, the red Amazon cuckoo delegates the task of raising its young to other birds. This parasitic behavior enables the species to reproduce prolifically and with minimum effort. The female cuckoo scouts its territory on the lookout for nests under construction. She chooses the moment when its owners are absent to lay her eggs, generally in the afternoon. The host, meanwhile, will lay mainly in the morning. Huh? After laying an egg in her selected nest, the female will remove one of the host eggs and destroy it or eat it later. The cuckoo's egg generally hatches before the eggs of its adopted brothers and sisters. The cuckoo chick will instinctively edge the other eggs from the nest. The young cuckoo grows fast. Sometimes its foster parents will perch on the back of the hungry chick to feed it. Even if the cuckoo's egg is very different to the smaller host eggs, it nevertheless mimics the host egg in certain ways, not perfectly but just enough to be accepted by most species. The red cuckoo's love for the grape could sadly prove fatal for the species in the medium term. European settlers who have tried to cultivate the grape on the Amazon plains have decimated the Amazon red cuckoo population. Grape producers, to protect the harvests from what they would call uh, some looting, have declared all-out war on the bird. It is to be feared that the cuckoo will be on the losing side. The red cuckoo reproduces relatively well in captivity and is one of the jewels in the crown of the Barrockstadt University ornithological collections. However, scientists at the university have their own reservations about the species and its perplexity to become practically invasive whenever conditions are favorable to it, to the detriment of others, rare species. Heads of the Barrockstadt aviary have therefore undertaken a policy of birth control to attempt to balance out nature's imperfections in its artificial environment. Today it is very rare to find the forest sauvignon grape in the wild. The species has been decimated by a terrible equatorial phylloxera epidemic. However, in Europe, successful cultivation of the plant is the pride of the Barrockstadt University Botany Collection and has largely contributed to the survival of the species around the world. Okay. So here in this university, they have the grapes that the birds can eat.
Can I disturb you a second?
No.
You could be a little bit nicer about it.
Keep quiet. In case you haven't noticed, we're somewhere that requires silence and tranquility.
Kate, you shouldn't ask the guy to be nice, because really, you are disturbing him. You asked him and he gave you a direct answer. Oh, are you the rectors?
Good day to you, gentlemen.
Tell me, young lady, to what do we owe this pleasure?
Please do be brief. We do not have very much time on our hands.
As rectors of this university, we have serious matters to attend to and our time is precious.
I have heard you wish to meet the owner of the train that is currently in your station. May I know the reason for your summons?
We are surprised that your train has not yet left, miss. The situation is most regrettable.
The rules do clearly state that trains are meant to come and go and not remain stationary at a platform.
Trains should first stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
We agree then, dear colleagues, that what we're dealing with is deviant behavior.
This matter really is cause for concern.
It's a clockwork train, you see? So it needs winding up again. Unfortunately, there is no equipment in the station to do this.
A clockwork train? That's strange.
How very quaint. You mean it's some sort of mechanical toy?
You are causing a hindrance to us, miss.
I am very hopeful that I will find what I need along the wall.
The wall? Miss, that really is not a suitable place for you to go.
Especially for a young lady.
You see, miss, we freely admit that every day we praise the existence of that particular edifice. We owe the integrity of our dear university and the fine education it provides to the wall.
It protects us from harm and invasion from the unknown.
May God protect us from what is beyond those ramparts, miss. Please believe me.
I don't have any choice. I must continue my journey.
Such a decision is a correct one since it's in line with regulations.
Thus, your train will indeed be able to leave.
And consequently cease to obstruct our station.
I haven't introduced myself. My name is Kate Walker.
Walker, haven't we already had a Miss Walker? Ethnology Masters, September 1953, if my memory serves me correctly.
Perfectly well, my dear colleague. But if I may be so bold, it was a Mr. Walker and not a Miss. It was Bill Walker, sat this June '68 exams. The impudent fool turned up for the oral assessment in jeans, flouting strict internal regulations which explicitly state the required uniform for the occasion.
Pure incitement. It was scandalous. Sadly, we have seen worse since. Young people lack all respect of traditional values.
Tradition, young lady. One must always uphold tradition.
So painful to listen to them.
You see, I didn't actually intend to stop here, but the springs of my train gave up, you see?
No, not really. You mean to say you're not a student?
You have arrived a little late in the term, miss. Enrollment for this year has already terminated.
But as rectors of this university, and therefore representatives of its highest authority, we could bend the rules a little, if you like.
You don't understand. I'm a lawyer from New York, or rather Valadilene, more precisely. My client wants to buy out an old mechanical toy factory, but its heir isn't actually dead and is living somewhere in Syberia. I've got to get to him to sign the sales contract. You see?
Not really. This is a most peculiar tale.
A kerfuffle of the highest order.
We have an excellent law school, if you should ever change your mind.
Can you possibly help me out here?
Miss, your insistence is almost verging on indecency.
We cannot constantly be at your disposal. We have many other requests to attend to.
If you don't mind, could you not disturb us all the time? Thank you.
Does the name Hans Vorarlberg mean anything to you by chance?
Ah, one of the brightest, most idealistic intellects to have graced our university. Hans Vorarlberg. I remember speaking to him once. I was still a student at the time. He just stared at me, lost in thought for a while. He scarcely ever said a word. But how can one forget him?
Idealistic? I'll grant you that. But bright? Oh, don't go too far. He was completely incapable of passing any exams. All he ever did was to sit in on lessons, and not many of them either. Paleontology, mainly. He had an unhealthy passion for mammoths, which matched the state of his intellect perfectly. That is to say, prehistoric.
Prehistoric? How dare you? A little far-fetched, maybe. But he did have flashes of intellectual brilliance, comprehensible only to high-minded scholars who hold no score by appearances. My dear colleague, your hasty conclusions are somewhat cavalier.
My assessment is wholly accurate. The boy was a little odd. You must concur if my father, who was rector of the university at the time, had not shown great indulgence towards him. Hans Vorarlberg would have never attended this establishment.
What about the bandstand, then? Is that the work of a deranged mind? Even after all these years, you are still jealous of it.
My dear colleagues, I beseech you, let's show some decorum. We have a visitor. What do you want with Hans Vorarlberg, miss? Are you a member of his family?
No, not at all. I'm looking for him to clear up an inheritance matter. Is he still here?
What? Here? At the university? No, not at all. He left a long time ago. Yes, a very long time ago. The very year I was nominated to this position, in fact. Almost 50 years ago already.
The poor soul moved on once he learned all he needed to know about mammoths.
Ah, this establishment was never quite the same after his departure, it must be said.
You mean to say it was never as bad? all that oddball brought to this university was his misplaced fantasies.
Gentlemen, gentlemen, let's try to retain the calm and level-headedness that befits our position.
Excuse me.
Miss, we find ourselves terribly put out by the presence of your train in our station and by its recurrent immobility.
Indeed, the situation is very regrettable. Your huge locomotive is very cumbersome.
A train should first stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
That idea of the station aviary is really very original.
It's the pride of our university. One of the specialties taught here is zoology, you see, and more particularly, ornithology. Proper study and instruction should not be limited to books. Observation of living matter is indissociable from theoretical questions.
It contains some very rare specimens that have been brought back from faraway, exotic countries, especially for our university, by the world's most intrepid explorers.
Do you remember Alexander Valembois and his peculiar bird?
Absolutely. His gift produced some very embarrassing long-term consequences.
A poison chalice indeed. It must be said the situation could have been much worse, however.
Oh, yes, it could have been terribly problematic.
Are you talking about the cuckoo?
You wouldn't know if there is any Forest Sauvignon here in Barrockstadt, would you?
Absolutely.
When he says absolutely, he means, of course, absolutely none.
What we mean, of course, is that we are absolutely positive there is no Forest Sauvignon here in Barrockstadt.
Really? Are you sure? Because I read in a book that Barrockstadt possesses a number of plants. I wouldn't mind getting a hold of some if possible.
Out of the question, miss.
The assistant rector means to say that our priority is for you to remove your train from our station. Your research will have to wait until your next stop.
Yes, that's right. Your train must leave the station immediately, so please refrain from wasting our time in needless visitations.
Don't forget the regulations, miss. Don't forget them. Trains should first stop, then subsequently leave. And quickly!
Some sailors have agreed to tow the train, but I don't have enough money to pay them. I was wondering if you could help me out. For a while. I could work for the money.
Please wait, miss. We have certain confibulations to attend to.
That is right. We must confibulate between ourselves. A collegiate decision must be taken.
I hope that we are not indisposing you in any way.
Why not?
If it helps us get rid of that train.
My word, that is a fine idea.
What do you have in mind, gentlemen?
When you arrived here, you must have noticed a splendid bandstand which honors the main university courtyard.
A unique piece of mechanical craftsmanship which no longer works, alas.
Why, yes, we have very moving memories of its melodies. We're prepared to offer you a financial reward if you can set it working again.
With pleasure. What do I have to do?
Unfortunately, my dear, time and rust have taken their toll on this university, and our automatons no longer have a spring in their step. You are going to have to be resourceful.
To tell you the truth, there are a number of complex mechanisms here in Barrockstadt, and it would appear that we have unfortunately lost their operating instructions.
Your train, however, is an extremely ingenious invention, so you should be no stranger to complex mechanisms, should you? We are therefore counting on your ingenuity, miss.
I hope that I can show myself worthy of your faith in me, gentlemen.
Well, my dear colleagues, one more university matter nicely tied up.
Here we are, busy chatting, and look at the clock. It's tea time.
Already? My word, doesn't time fly by?
Thank you for a charming visit, miss.
And thank you, gentlemen.
Shall I expect the gentleman to leave? I mean, it's tea time. Now, in any case, I expect myself to leave because, again, why am I? Look at the time. Yeah, it was nice that we wrapped up with Valadilene. Now we have arrived here in Barrockstadt, where we have to, yeah, attend to some local problems. And yeah, so in order of problems appearing around, we need to tow the train so that we can wind it up. In order to tow the train, we need to find money to pay for the dues on the boat. In order to pay for these dues, we need to fix the band orchestra, and I think it needs some kind of an egg, which maybe Mechanical Eagle has, and the way is locked by the birds, and the birds might need the grapes. Now, where I can find the grapes? I will look at that in the next episode. For now, I hope that you enjoy my company and my gameplay, and if that's the case, then please leave me a like, subscribe to the channel, otherwise let me know down in the comments what I can improve for you. Hope to see you next time. Have a nice day out there, and bye.